Vladimir Kara-Murza is in prison for one reason and one reason only. He stood up to Vladimir Putin, and specifically stood up to Vladimir Putin by calling out Putin's murderous war in Ukraine, and said that war should stop and Russia should withdraw from Ukraine. For that, Vladimir Kara-Murza is facing 24 years in a Russian prison for treason.
Such regimes as that of Vladimir Putin are afraid of free voices. They're afraid of brave people who dare to oppose the regime.
There have been 2 attempts made on his life. He was poisoned in 2015. He nearly died. He was poisoned again in 2017.
People shouldn't be killed for their political activity and because they happen to disagree with the government.
Even after both of these poisonings, and after I and many of his other friends begged him not to go back to Russia, after the war started, he traveled to Moscow in order to protest the war. And shortly after, he was arrested and charged with treason.
He wants Russia to be a country where people's rights are respected, when people's freedoms are respected, a country where his kids can live without being scared for their lives, a country that would be a decent and respected partner on the international stage. A normal democratic country, a boring even.
It was really my husband that introduced him to me, and because the two of them shared so much. They shared not only their love of freedom and democracy, but their belief that all people deserve to be free. Courage is something that is not necessarily gained. You're probably born with it to some degree. I think they're a special breed, especially Vladimir. He's a very special breed of human being and a very special breed of patriot.
Even when people say that some fight is hopeless, that you should not fight it because it's just gonna take up your life, eat up your life, and you're gonna be left with nothing at the end. He doesn't believe these people. He doesn't, because he knows that you can win against all odds. If only you believe in yourself, if only you stay true to your principles, you stay true to your beliefs. You have to carry on, because otherwise you would be betraying yourself. That he would never do.
He knew he was doing what was right for the people of Russia, and whether he came out or didn't, his drive and his inner spirit and his inner honor told him to do this.
He is just an incredibly eloquent champion of freedom, of democracy, of human rights in Russia. He always reminds me of the difference between the Russian regime and the Russian people. He is standing up for his principles in a way that few of us are ever called on to do in our everyday lives.
The only thing we would ask of the leaders of the free world is that they not help Mr. Putin by treating him as a worthy and respectable partner on a global stage, and by allowing the operatives of his regime to use Western countries as havens for their looted wealth.
Vladimir is the most selfless individual I've ever met. He's somebody who is ready to give up his own freedom, potentially give up his own life for a higher cause. Very rare to meet a person like that.